What makes a game feel great to play? There's something about comboing enemies in the Bayonetta series, or catching P-Speed and making the precise jumps in Super Mario Bros. 3 that just feels right to me. And that's the best way I can describe what makes Shinobi 3 on the Sega Genesis great. It feels good in the hands. By the time it arrived on the Sega Mega Drive and the Genesis in 1993, the series already had 2 previous entries that featured Ninja, Joe Musashi as the main character. The original arcade game, simply titled Shinobi, was released in 1987 and established a basic control scheme: walking, jumping, a katana attack for close encounters, shurikens to throw, and ninja magic known as ninjutsu. In 1989, Sega released The Revenge of Shinobi, which was specifically designed for the home console. Honestly, this was one of my favorite games as a kid growing up. The game featured similar gameplay to the original and added a double jump somersault, which also included a powerful shuriken attack. The music and methodical movement gave the game this cinematic feeling, heightened by boss fights with Spider-Man, Godzilla, the Hulk, and others. Seriously, I have no idea how this game came to market without getting sued. So it begs the question, who knew that adding the ability to run would drastically change the overall experience of playing a Shinobi game? In the early 90s, Sega assigned developer Megasoft to modernize the game for a 90s audience. In addition to running, they also added wall jumping, dive kicks, and climbing to Joe's moveset.
Going through the game, you run through your first set of enemies are just the stationary ninja. You also have your other ninja that come out of the trees. And then you have these sort of like armored foes that take 2 normal hits to kill. But you can also pick up a POW, which is a power-up. And that basically allows Joe to use powered-up kunai, but also to use Joe's sword in melee range, which is very effective.
Shinobi 3 had this now somewhat infamous release. In 1992, GamePro, Mean Machines, and other gaming magazines released positive reviews of the game, but criticized some of the level design. Sega decided to put the game back in development and spent another year redesigning levels.
The 1992 magazine reviews of that build of the game that apparently didn't get reviewed too well, they're totally different than what we got on the internet right now. So somewhere out there, hopefully one day, that ROM surfaces.
Finally, in 1993, Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master was released in North America and Japan, where it was actually titled The Super Shinobi 2. Looking through scans of old gaming magazines, reviews at the time were positive, praising the new movesets, but were kind of critical of the game's lack of difficulty compared to other games at the time. The first time that I played Shinobi 3 was actually in 2023 as an adult, and I crashed the game on my first playthrough. Okay. But at the time of the crash, I was having such a great time playing because the movement felt so good. It got me thinking about the speedrun of the game. I love speedrunning games that just feel great in your hands. So what makes Shinobi 3 a great speedrun?
Running makes the game feel so much smoother. You have more movement options as well. You got the wall jumps and dive kicks, all the crazy stuff that happens.
The speedrun of Shinobi 3 has an interesting history. The earliest recorded run we have is from Molotov, completing a deathless run of the game in 41 minutes and 58 seconds. This was published in 2004 for entertainment purposes. Later that year, Mike Uyama submitted a no damage run to Speed Demo's archive. I use the air quotes because he actually takes damage in the final level, but soldiers on anyway. That record would stand for 10 years, as nobody submitted a run during that time. That is, until 2014, when keaur started to stream attempts.
Banjo-Kazooie, Majora's Mask, these are speedrunners on Twitch. What about Shinobi 3? So then I looked it up and it's like, nobody's online in the directory. So I was like, why not I try? So I looked up times. One notable one was Mike Uyama. I was on SDA, and I was like, oh, he had a 29-minute time. I think I can do better than that.
keaur would grind the game for the next 5 years, continuously dropping his time. His first ever verified world record was 25 minutes and 38 seconds in February of 2015.
Maybe. We'll see. Alright, I PV'd. Cool.
By March, 5 years later of 2019, he had dropped the time to 24 minutes and 25 seconds. And this was done by optimizing movement, quick boss kills, reducing lag, and clips and zips. Interestingly enough, BaconOmelette made the discovery of zips and clips long before he ever started speedrunning the game.
I guess clips and zips, they kind of go hand in hand. Clipping was initially found out from me just tinkering with the game. The way it works is you do a wall hop and then you throw a kunai, but during that animation, for some reason, there's no collision detection, so you can just phase through things. But then once you're inside of a wall, it can either, like you were saying, zip you, or if you're really, really stuck in the wall, you'll just be stationary in that wall, but you can wiggle out.
So BaconOmelette built upon the strats and optimizations keaur had established. His first world record run in the expert category came in August of 2020 with a 24-minute and 18-second time, beating keaur's 5-year reign and personal best by 7 seconds.
Hell yeah.
In December of 2021, Bacon surpassed the next minute barrier, a huge accomplishment, by completing Shinobi III in 23 minutes and 54 seconds.
I think that's it. Son of a bitch. We did it. Oh. Holy shit.
The next few years, new runners attempted Shinobi 3 speedruns. Shadex captured a world record in April of 2022 with a time of 23 minutes and 46 seconds. BaconOmelette took it back in March of 2023, and in August of that year, A-Frame posted a 23-minute and 37-second run. 2 weeks later, he dropped 2 seconds from that with a 23:35, which is where the world record stands of this video. To this day, many consider Shinobi 3 one of the best games on the console. I know I do. GameSpot ranked the game on their 15 best Sega Genesis games of all time, and IGN called the game a legit Genesis great, one of the better action games for the 16-bit console. Thanks to the forgiving difficulty, if you're into ninja games or platforming or any of those sorts of types of games, I promise you won't regret the few hours it'll take to beat this memorable game. As you can probably tell, I had a great experience with my first play of this game, and that's what inspired me to make this video. It would not have been possible without some huge help from keaur and BaconOmelette. I have all of the thanks in the world for them for providing a lot of the information and the history of the speedrun of it, but also how the basic mechanics of the game play into that history. For those of you that don't know, I host a podcast that's called Sequence Break, and it's a deep dive into speedrunning, gaming, game development, and we did a great conversation with keaur and BaconOmelette where we take a legit deep dive into all of the aspects of the speedrun, the game, the history. It's a really great listen, and I'll link it here in the description. Encourage you to go listen and watch it. If there's something I missed or something you'd like to see more of, let me know in the comments below. I'm still getting used to researching and presenting the info, and I really do welcome all the feedback. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.